Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Spirit of America Saturday. This is our second Spirit of America Saturday. I'm Mary Therese Grabowski, and my illustrator, Michelle Graham-Fricks, and I are taking you on a patriotic adventure with our character, America Johnson, and her talking dog, Liberty. Today, we tackle America by George. Have you ever had to write a book report in class and you wanted to make it more than just a book report? Something really memorable that the whole class is going to keep upstairs in their memory bank? America Johnson got really creative when she was given the task of writing a report about our very first president, George Washington. Let's take an adventure. Are you ready? Mom, can you drive any faster? I really want to get to school and get set up early so I can get my stuff ready for my history presentation. America pleaded with Mom on the way to school. America's mom was driving her to school because she had a lot of props in a box that she had to carry. "We'll be there in plenty of time," said Mrs. Johnson, "and you'll do great." "Are you nervous?" she asked. A little bit," America said. "Well, you shouldn't be. You practiced a lot, and your dad and I think that you have it all down perfectly." "Thanks, Mom. I guess I'm not nervous, but just really ready to show Mrs. Potter all my hard work. I hope she likes it." "No worries there," laughed Mrs. J. "She'll love it." Once they arrived at school, America gathered her box of props out of the car and headed to homeroom. Her best friend Elisa met her in the doorway. "What do you have in the box?" asked Elisa. "It's for Mrs. Potter's history class. I wanted to do something extra cool for my presentation today," explained America. "Wow, I'm really looking forward to that." You mean you're not just going to read your report to the class?" asked Elisa. "No way. I want everyone to remember everything that I tell them in this story." She began to think, I have the wig, I have the big shoes and the plastic teeth. I think I have it all. America was really hoping to leave a lasting memory with her class. She also hoped that she got an A from Mrs. Potter. Class, the bell has rung. I need you to settle down," said Mrs. Potter. Today was the day that everyone would give their presentation on the first president of the United States. This was America's favorite class because it was history. She liked history, especially American history. Today we will continue our discussion about the first president of the United States, George Washington, said Mrs. Potter. "I have something very interesting to tell you about our first president. Did you know that even though our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., which is the city where all of our government is run from, is named after him, but he never lived there? Did you know that? George Washington helped to plan the capital city, but the capital at the time was New York City, and then it moved to Philadelphia. Washington, D.C. did not become our nation's capital until John Adams was our president, and he was our second president back in 1797. And one more thing, Mrs. Potter added. George Washington is the only president in the history of the country to win the president unanimously." Now there's a word. There's a word that made a few students look very puzzled. "What does unanimously mean?" asked one student. "Well, it means that you got all the votes. Everyone who voted said, 'Yes, I want George Washington to be my president.' And no one else received a single vote," explained Mrs. Potter. America noticed everyone was taking notes on these funky chunks of information because it smelled like test material in the future. Probably a good idea to do the same when each classmate gives their report, America thought. So one by one, the students gave their report on George Washington. Some had the same facts to share, like the president's wife's name was Martha, he had bad teeth, he had them all removed, and he wore false ones, and also that he served 2 four-year terms as president. He was born in Westmoreland, Virginia in 1732, but he died at his home in Mount Vernon. That's in Virginia. in 1799. As America listened to each report, she grew more and more excited about giving her report. When is it my turn, she thought. She had a surprise for everyone. She was going to act out her presentation by pretending to be George Washington. Well, we have one student left to give a report. America, it's your turn, said Mrs. Potter. Could I have a minute or two to get ready, Mrs. Potter? Asked America. Of course you can, she replied. While America is getting ready for her report, I want all of you to write down your homework assignment for this evening. It's on the board. Please read Chapter 6 about the Statue of Liberty for tomorrow. As everyone was writing down their assignment, America put on a big white wig, false teeth, an overcoat, and big colonial-looking shoes that she brought with her to her class. It was in the big box. Okay, Mrs. Potter, I'm ready. I'm George Washington. Wow, said Mrs. Potter, looking at America in her costume. You certainly are. Please give your report, Mr. President. America started out the class hoping she didn't forget anything. She took a deep breath and then she looked down to start to read from her report. I was born on a farm in Pope's Creek in Westmoreland County, Virginia, 1732. I was only educated until I was 15, and then I became a land surveyor, measuring land in Virginia. I joined the Army and fought in several wars protecting our new land. I became a well-known officer in the Army and eventually became the first president. So now that you have some background on me, I have sort of a poem that might help you remember my life in an easier, fun kind of way. America turned her back to the class. She secured her wig and turned around, and then she had a big surprise. She began to rap the life of George Washington. My name is George, the first president. It's a really big job and pretty important. I started as a farmer and then measured the land, but I became a general in the Army to command. My wife was Martha. She had a daughter and a son. I took them as my own, and as a family we were one. Martha helped the soldiers when the Army was sick, nursing them to health so they could get to work quick. We finally beat the British and our country was saved. The road to our democracy was finally being paved. The Continental Congress needed someone to lead, so they voted me president, and I fulfilled the need. I united the new country through tough times for sure. I even stayed 2 terms to make sure it was secure. I had bad teeth, I was tall but fair. Other countries worked with us because they liked how much I cared. I never lived in the White House or Washington, D.C. I'm okay with that now. It's all because of me. Now this is really important. I didn't sign the Declaration of Independence, but I signed the Constitution. I'm okay with that too. It's all part of this evolution of this brave country called the USA. I am the founding father, and I'm here to say, America is great. It was no accident. Take it from me, I was your first president. The entire class erupted in applause after America gave her presentation. Mrs. Potter even clapped, saying, America, you get an A for creativity. America was thrilled as she took out her teeth that everyone liked her rap. She took off her false wig and then she thanked the teacher for her grade. She was so excited that she got an A. After school, she walked home with Elisa, and the 2 of them gabbed the entire way home talking about their history class. That rap was ingenious, America. I actually can't wait to take a test on good old George now. I'll just remember that rap, said Elisa. Well, that's the idea, said America. The only thing I didn't put in the rap that everyone should remember is that he died at his family home at Mount Vernon when he was only 67 years old. Did you know that he's buried there with his wife Martha? And you can actually go and visit the home that they lived in? It's true. Nope, I didn't know that, said Elisa. When America got home, she helped her mom get the table ready for dinner. Well, how was your presentation on George Washington? Asked Mrs. Johnson. I got an A, Mom. I got an A. Everyone liked the rap, and I think they'll all remember some very cool things about our first president, George Washington. That's terrific news, honey. I knew you worked really hard on that. Just then, America's brother Sam asked, did you include the most important question of all to your class, America? And what would that be? Asked America. I'll bet you did not include the most important question about where you can easily find George Washington every single day. No, I didn't include that, but okay, I'll bite. I say it's in a history book. That's where you find George Washington every day, exclaimed America. Sam just smiled and said, I'll bet you $1 it's not. Just then, Sam pulled out a $1 bill and showed it, and everyone stared at George Washington's face. The $1 bill has the face of none other than our first president, George Washington, on it. America and her mom just laughed. Okay, you're correct, big brother. There's always a picture of George available every day in your wallet. Did you enjoy that? I hope that this helps you remember a little bit about the life of our first president, George Washington. Michelle and I wanted to mention as well, at the back of all of our books, we have America's Quick Questions. There's a little quiz to help you remember the wonderful patriotic adventure that you've been on. You can find all of our books at spiritofamerica.books.com. They're available on all the usual outlets, Barnes & Noble and Amazon. We also want to invite you next Saturday. We have a very special book. This is an election year. I hope you remember that. Boys and girls, it's so important that you understand what it means to be able to vote. So the next adventure is called Your Vote Counts. This is a very special book for Michelle and I because several years ago, PBS Think TV picked up our book and said, that's what we want to share with the rest of the kids in the country about what the voting process is like. So PBS Think TV turned Your Vote Counts into a cartoon short, and we'll be sharing that with you next Saturday. We'll even explain what the process of voting is all about. We're even going to tell you about the Electoral College. Repeat after me. This is very important, boys and girls. The Electoral College is not a place, it is a process. And we're going to learn more about that and have a really good time with Your Vote Counts next Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. See you then.